Game 7, Boston trails by 2. It's been a battle all night, and for many in this building, this feels like the end. But Leroy and Cerrone, they've been here before. Leroy lurking, eyes locked in, and oh, he pulls it loose! He's got the steal with 5 seconds left. He looks up, finds Cerrone. Cerrone catches, steps into it. A 3 for the win! He hit it! Cerrone from downtown. Leroy to Cerrone. They have done it again. They've done it again.
Yo. 98.5 The Sports Hub, the Leroy and Cerrone show in the building. Today from 2 o'clock to 4:30. Not 5 o'clock, just to 4:30. Anyways, you know the number 617-779-0985. Cerrone, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. You know what? I'm doing a lot better.
I really do love the honesty, because I'm right there with you, brother.
I had a wildlife situation yesterday, and it kind of sent me in a bad direction.
You need to. Well, if you don't mind, you should tell the people. This is a very interesting story.
Well, this is some things you kind of run into in the stuff. I didn't mean to say run into, but no pun absolutely intended. Driving yesterday afternoon through lovely Wake Forest, North Carolina, lovely place, God's country. Streets are made of gold. They're smooth too. But I'm riding, and there's, when something's dead down here on the side of the road or whatever, you see vultures, the American vulture, buzzards, whatever you want to call it. Very large animals in the middle of the road. And when you're riding up, they stop flying off. And one flew off as I was approaching. And he got scared and doubled back across the road and ricocheted off my windshield. And it sounded like somebody hit my window with a bat. And shattered the whole right side of my windshield. God.
Now you're okay? No injuries or anything like that?
I'm fine. Mentally, I was as broken as that window. I just pulled off to the side of the road and just looked up like, what are the chances?
Yep. Always one thing right after the other.
Yep. Blown tire the other day.
Jeez,
followed up with a giant bird of prey ricocheting off your window, and then he was still alive. He was still alive. He got up and flew off like, dang, sorry, bro.
Well, Cerrone, being a man of faith.
But I'm good, though. I'm in a much better place now. I'm in a good place.
Being a man of faith, and you are a man of faith, too, I think it's only appropriate that we pause for the cause and say a prayer for Brother Battle. No, I'm dead serious, though. Heavenly Father, we thank you for Brother Battle. Protect him, keep him. And we know that when things seem to be falling apart, that means a blessing's on the way.
That's it.
Give him strength to hold on. Let the church say amen. Anyways, we got a lot going on today, including the general manager of the Boston Legacy is going to come through. We obviously got to talk about what went down with UConn and South Carolina, the women's NCAA tournament. There's so much, but right now we got to introduce the music of the day. The Red Sox home opener, beautiful thing, and part of the home opener was to celebrate the 1986 Red Sox team. So today's music is dedicated to hip-hop and R&B from the year 1986. George, this one's on you, man. You got it. Can't wait to hear what you got. Good stuff right there. The number is 617-779-0985. Hit us up. Tell a friend to check out the Leroy and Cerrone show. Speaking of 1986, well, two things. That went down at Fenway. Red Sox fans, if you could, hit us up. Once again, 617-779-0985. It's way too early in the season to say whether or not the Red Sox are going to be successful or not. I know it hasn't looked good. They've looked pretty bad. They did get a win yesterday, which was great. But it's just not a logical move to assume what's going to happen for the rest of the season. However, if you have been paying attention, what do you think is that one thing, that negative thing about this team, that one issue about this team that regardless, it's going to be there throughout the season? I'm going with power hitting. I think a lot of people are going to go with that, but hit us up and let us know. And then the second thing, Cerrone, y'all forgive me. Cerrone, how do you feel about celebrating teams that didn't win?
Celebrating teams that didn't win?
Yeah.
Give me an example there. What's on your mind?
So like the 1986 Red Sox.
Oh, man.
No, and if I'm on the team,
That's a good point.
I don't want to be celebrated. Obviously, I'm not a professional athlete, never have been. But if I were, I imagine that if I lost, if I was on the old 07 Patriots, don't have me come to Gillette talking about we going to celebrate the undefeated season.
07 day?
I don't, no. Why do you want to bring up pain again?
22 Celtics parade.
Yeah, like what? Come on.
I never really thought about it like that, but yeah. I mean, I was going to say maybe because it was so long, it was really long without winning. But how long was it really with them not actually just making it to the world? Like you celebrating the fact that they got to the World Series? I mean, it was one of the more gut-wrenching L's in sports history.
Exactly.
But yeah, why? Well, I think that it kind of shows more about where Boston. No, I can't even say that because the Celtics were a dynasty at that point. The Celtics were rolling, so it's not like the city didn't have anything to celebrate when it came to sports. The Celtics were top of the sports world at the time. But I mean, yeah, why? Why? That's a good question. What is the point of celebrating 86?
Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, Cerrone.
I remember being in elementary school and the whole class was crying
Depressed.
the next day.
Our introduction to depression. Mama, what is this feeling I'm having, son? It's called depression. It would be like
go depress them dishes.
Yeah. Oh boy, don't get me started. It's like Cerrone, you've done a phenomenal job. You get up here when you can. You travel. I remember you came up here for KG's retirement night, and rightfully so. It was worth it.
Yes, it was.
Cerrone, if you got a phone call and someone said, "Hey, Robert Kraft and the New England Patriots are going to celebrate on opening day the 1985 New England Patriots," you're not coming up. You're not doing it.
Yo, it's funny how that sounds totally different when you mention the 85 Patriots. It's like, they both were in the championship, but we look at them as being terrible. And the Red Sox, like, they were right there.
Is it a baseball thing? George, is it a baseball thing? Is this something that happens throughout baseball?
And this is an atypical kind of conversation. I was kind of pre-gaming with Maz and consulting with him on this. I think we'll allow for it just because of the longevity. To Cerrone's point, it's been enough time that's kind of passed. But I'm with you guys in the overall points. That we're going to celebrate the 85 Patriots. They didn't do that going back last year. So it's one of those things that it brings up bad memories. Obviously, this is like the most heartbreaking kind of. It's famous for the wrong reasons.
If I'm on, or if I were on the 1985 Patriots, if I'm a Steve Grogan, if I'm a Irvin Fryer,
right?
Don't call me.
Right.
Don't call me. Say, hey, we need you.
And the closeness shouldn't matter because look at the Seahawks, Malcolm Butler interception. If they're going to celebrate that 2014 season down the line, now granted they did win, so this isn't like the drought that the Red Sox had at the time. So it's just different, and I love that we're comparing the different sports because if we can't really wrap our heads around them celebrating the 07 Patriots, 85 Patriots, the 22 Celtics, name your runner-up. This is just extenuating circumstance, and probably baseball is the only thing that we can think of because of that 86-year drought. Probably had the most to do with this and how we really do have a spot in our hearts for these teams, so I don't mind it as much, but
we don't. I'm sorry. I was alive. I was there. I was pulling for both the 1985 Patriots and the 1986 Red Sox, and I'm sorry, they don't have a special place in my heart because they lost.
The pain, man. All you got is pain in your heart.
Right. What's next? 03.
They got D tackles running it in.
We are 23 years removed from the 03 Red Sox in Boone, tearing us up. Are we going to pull them out and say, hey, you know what? 0-3. We're going to celebrate you. No.
Well, they didn't make it to the World Series, though, to be sure.
So what?
But it's the same difference,
fine.
okay.
But still, I'm all set.
I think there was a lot of other things you could celebrate as opposed to the team that was close. We were close. We almost got there. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, I didn't think about it much until you just said this, and I'm like, yeah, why do we celebrate second place finishes? Like Doug Flutie, Hail Mary. Imagine, Miami. Like,
right?
Let's celebrate that. It's like it's just heartbreaking, man. Like the Buffalo Bills. I know they've probably done. It's probably very Buffalo of them. They've probably celebrated one of the 4 Super Bowl teams that kept losing. I wouldn't want nothing to Don't call me about that.
I'm Thurman Thomas. Do not call me to come through to celebrate losing.
Got Don Beebe. They got the image of him bouncing off the top of his head upside down. It's like, man, don't show me that.
I'm all set. But anyway,
do you invite everybody? Okay. Do you bring in the kicker who missed for the Bills?
Oh.
Do you invite Buckner down? Like, I mean, it's like with a chance, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
If this different circumstances, do you invite the person who is responsible for you coming up short? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's tough.
Just what's the point? What's the point? Anyways, let's take a quick break. It's the Leroy and Cerrone Show. When we get back, March Madness.
experts giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
The officials will hold the players. Now Dawn and Gino getting into it a little bit on the sideline as Gino has to be held back. And Dawn and Gino, that's part of what makes this rivalry such a compelling one. As they exchange words at center court. There does have to be one final inbound here before this game. It's double zeros. South Carolina has stunned UConn. The Gamecocks will play for a national title on Sunday afternoon. And you could see Dawn Staley saying, I would never do that. I would never do that to him.
Welcome back to Leroy and Cerrone Show. 985 The Sports Hub, 617-779-0985. Man, what a night. What a night. Just so you know, if you're listening, Cerrone and I, we put in a lot of effort for this show. We plan, we plot, we strategize, and it is so hilarious. And it's part of the reason why I love doing sports talk or just talk in general and being live is because our plan was, and Cerrone, matter of fact, if you could ask, because I need to get me a sip of water right now. But what was your original question that you came up with?
I think it still stands. It still holds up. We were just having a conversation. I just threw it out there. I'm like, yo, is Gino the greatest coach in the sports history? And everything included sports. I mean, college, pro, basketball, every sport. Is Gino the greatest? And I asked him this the other day. And then, I don't think losing last night changes that. Mm-hmm. They lost to a really, really good team and a dominant program, similar to UConn, but very dominant program. It's just going to come down to the same few teams every year, as long as these coaches and organizations programs still doing their thing. But I just put it out there. I said, yo, is Gino the greatest, man? Is he the greatest coach in New England sports history? And I don't know the correct answer to that. I just put it out there, like, yo, is he the
right?
Is he the best ever?
It's a great question, because when you asked it, I was like, man, I really got to sit back and think about that. And I was prepared and ready to talk about it. And like you said, we could still talk about it. But then last night happens, and it becomes the talk of the sports world.
Yeah.
Final Four game, South Carolina taking on undefeated UConn, and South Carolina wins 62-48. But that's not even the biggest story. The bigger story is, and Cerrone, I don't know if you were able to watch the entire thing, but Gino was in his feelings pretty much throughout the entire game. He was feeling some type of way. Apparently, he was upset that him and Dawn did not shake hands during pregame, and that he waited for he said like 6 minutes waiting for her to come through, and she didn't come through. And then I believe it was it the first? Anyways, during the game, he's interviewed, and here's what he said.
Well, Coach, a kind of wild turn of events. Sarah Strong's jersey is split right down the middle. I saw you speaking to the refs about it. What message did you try to convey?
Right. There were 6 fouls called that quarter, all of them against us. And they've been beating the shit out of our guys down there the entire game. And I'm not making excuses because we haven't been able to make a shot. But this is ridiculous. Their coach rants and raves on the sideline and calls the referee some names you don't want to hear. And now we get 6-0, and I got a kid with a ripped jersey, and they go, I didn't see it. Come on, man. This is for the national championship.
Man, I'm telling you, timing is everything. Because something just broke, but I'll hold on. Because then, after the game was over, again, South Carolina won 62-48.
And real quick,
yep,
that was not the national championship game, even though he called it that. That somehow I'll add to that later, but go on.
And towards the end of the game, I don't know, is there audio for this, George? I don't know if it was. Well, yeah. Do we have audio, George, for the end of the game? All right, if you would, this is what happened.
Dawn said post-game that the exchange had something to do with her not shaking your hand pre-game. Is that what you said to her post-game? And do you have any regrets about the way you handled that exchange with her and your communication about her to Holly Rowe in the fourth quarter?
I don't have any regrets about what I said to Holly Rowe. Why would I? Why would I? I've been coaching a long time. I've never had a kid have to change their jersey because somebody ripped it, and the official said I didn't see it. There are a lot of things that happen in that game. Unless you're on that sideline, you have no idea what's happening on that sideline. No, I mean, for 41 years I've been coaching, and I've been, 25 Final Fours. And the protocol is, before the game, you meet at half court. Anybody ever see that before? Two coaches meet at half court and they shake hands. Correct? You ever see it? They announce it on the loudspeaker. And I waited there for like 3 minutes. So it is what it is.
All right, so that was after the game, but at the end of the game, what ended up happening is that both coaches met to shake hands, and Gino just lost it. He started going off on Dawn. Cerrone, before I tell you the breaking news, just what were your thoughts seeing that?
I submit no. I said don't do that. Don't do. I knew it was going to be a big deal. Yeah. Don't do that. You got to take that L and hold it. And I thought not only did he handle himself poorly, I thought you saw the situation. Well, the coaches, the players, they all share the same thing here. What I'm saying is, you saw an entire program, the entire fourth quarter, really, not know how to handle adversity, not know how to handle somebody fighting back, the bully getting bullied and panicking.
Yep,
you saw it unravel. When they started missing shots and crying, it said, "Oh, they're broken because they haven't played." Remember, you mentioned the 07 Patriots. People say, "Oh man, how would they have won if they would have lost the game?"
Yep, that's the first thing I thought about. Not the 07 Patriots, but that whole idea of maybe
going
sometimes
undefeated, running the table.
Yeah, and sometimes it's good to lose a game or two.
No, it's you have young ladies on this team who came from AAU programs that never lost, that were beating people 100-23. We see it on social media all the time. Or they play at high schools, prep schools that are beating other schools by 100. You're seeing that carry over to a college team that hadn't lost in 54 straight games. The games aren't even close. And all of a sudden they're playing somebody from the same tier, and now they're losing, and it was, we can't dribble the ball now. We can't make clean passes. We can't make layups. And the coaching staff not getting anything to work, and he was razzled. He's taken L's before, but he could tell he was shaken by what was going on. They're fouling, they're ripping. I've never seen a jersey ripped. That jersey's ripped every 3 games, dude. I've never seen anybody pull. One thing I will say about the women's basketball, it's always physical. They always bring the heat. I don't care if it's middle school, high school, any level. The women's game, they bring the heat. It's always contact. It's always physical. Everybody's always emotional. It's one of the great things about all the sports that the ladies are in. They always bring the heat. And for him to be like, I've never seen this kind of intensity, and the refs got to get under control. No. They said no. Like you said, Mr. National Championship game, which is disrespectful to UCLA and Texas. They treated it like it was the Final Four. And the reason the free throw discrepancy was so bad, I looked this up just to make sure. South Carolina, the entire game, only took 6 3-pointers.
Yep.
They took 50 shots, free throw line down, 50 shots inside mid-range and in the paint. That's why the free throw the discrepancy was so wide. Whilst UConn couldn't get anything going to the basket, they took 21 threes. They stayed on the perimeter the whole game, and they ended up losing that game. And the coaching staff, he lost his cool because it was an unfamiliar situation. We're not supposed to lose. Something's got to be wrong here for us to lose. It's not right, and then he said it's a handshake, whatever. I could be mistaken, but they show footage of them shaking hands pregame. I'm like, so what is he talking about? Right. Is it a whole separate handshaking situation? But you saw a team that's not used to being in tight situations, get put in that situation and get tight. The coaching staff got tight. They didn't have any answers. And instead of saying, you know what, You got us. It's a good strategy. You got us. You won this one. We'll see you next year and dap it up like they did last year when he blew them out. And Don Stanley dapped it up with him at the end of the game. He waited for, talking about 3 minutes, he was standing there waiting and dancing like, come on over here. he was cooled in, but, he just they were in an unfamiliar situation, and it showed.
Well, here's the breaking news. Gino has apologized. In a statement issued through the school, he said there's no excuse for how I handled the end of the game versus South Carolina. It's unlike what I do and what our standard is here at Connecticut. Excuse me. I want to apologize to the staff and the team at South Carolina. It was uncalled for in how I reacted. Let's go to the phones real quick before we go to break. Yvonne in Dorchester, what's going on?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Thank you so much for taking my call. Love you guys.
Appreciate it.
So, I'm in watching this, you guys hit it right on the nose when you said, had this been the other way around, Gino wouldn't have a problem with it. The women's game is very physical. It can be. It's probably not played up as much in the media because they're women, but the bottom line was that ripped T-shirt was just, that helped him misdirect his anger. The bottom line was they lost the game. They couldn't admit that women couldn't come out and win like they should have. They didn't make those threes. South Carolina kept going to the hole. They were physical with them, and they just couldn't handle it. So the way he handled it was very poor. It was a bad look on him. I actually think Don Stanley was very classy in the way she handled it in response afterwards.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I can't believe it is the sports story being talked about in the sports world today. Listen, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, the men are playing too. And I just want to express something about who I'm rooting for and why. See if you guys agree or if you ever feel this way about other teams in sport.
over to sports.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub. We're back with more Leroy and Cerrone on the Sports Hub.
Do your dance, do your dance, do your dance quick, mama. Come on, baby, tell me what's the word.
Welcome back, 985 The Sports Hub. Leroy and Cerrone Show. Do your dance, do your dance. How fitting. March Madness, they're dancing. Both sides. By the way, before we move on, Cerrone, I just got to say this. Apparently, you know, we've lost a listener. A listener said that they have lost all respect for you and I because we were talking about women's sports. We were talking about women's basketball. Never mind.
Real quick then.
Yep.
Tell whoever that person is, you can no longer watch SportsCenter, Fox Sports, ABC, NBC, CBS, the Outdoor Channel.
Yeah.
You can't read the New York Times, the New York Post, any Boston paper. You can't read USA Today. You can't read SI.
Just turn your internet off.
You literally can't use the internet. So I don't know how he even contacted us if he gonna make that kind of stance, because everything on the planet was talking about women's basketball last night. I don't know if you noticed, it was only trending with like 1 billion total hits globally and led every major, not only sports outlet, news. There's a war going on, and they were like, well, hold on, wait. Did you see what happened with UConn and South Carolina? They were the story.
Yeah.
My bad.
So we are not apologizing.
You can't use his
not
electric
at all.
car. Don't turn the radio on.
You know what, Cerrone? One of the things I'm struggling with in life, I'm trying to get much better at, is I hate disappointing people. I really, really do. And so with that being said, to disappoint a listener like that, I just want to say I don't care. I really don't care.
It was a New England team.
Right.
It's a local team.
No, you know what? We don't have to spend time trying to explain it. I think it's hilarious. I really do think it's hilarious. Wow. Anyways, moving on, staying with college basketball. Is that okay? Can we talk about college basketball? Please don't hurt us, please.
Bro probably got on Caitlin Clark Nikes and don't even know it.
Please don't hurt us. Michigan is playing today. And Cerrone, I just want to say I'm pulling for Michigan simply because I feel bad about how they lost when the Fab Five was playing over 30 years ago.
It still hurt, man.
I still hurt. I know I'm not the only one. I know there are people who have sympathy for certain teams, franchises, organizations because they just struggle. I'm sure there are people who hate the Buffalo Bills when they go up against the Patriots. But if it's not the Patriots involved, they might feel a little like, man, I do remember those 4 times they went in a row and they lost and whatnot. And it got me thinking. And if I don't do a great job at explaining this, I'm sorry. I don't use AI. I try to use my brain to come up with stuff, and sometimes it comes out mushy. But when an underdog, hear me out. Now, when an underdog, let's say the Patriots were before they won in 2001. When an underdog is in the process of becoming and then becomes a winner. Cerrone, what's that one thing that tends to contribute to the sports world all of a sudden disliking them? So, like, let's take the Patriots.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Great! Oh, yeah. And then all of a sudden, something happens, there's a switch, and then they became, like, hated. And I refuse to believe it's just winning. It can't be just about winning. It has to be something else.
Winning too much.
Yeah, okay, so when's winning? What is it, 2 wins in a row? Or not even in a row, but 2 wins? Is it 3? Is it when you become a dynasty and now here comes the dislike?
Yeah, I think it starts after you won your championship. Okay, now move over and let somebody else win a championship. Let my team win a championship that I really love. But if you keep blocking everybody else, in the Oklahoma City Thunder. There's a great story last year. Now it's like all they do is cheat. It's like,
but they only got 1. So how did that happen so quick?
Because they're the favorites again. They're at the top of the food chain.
Okay.
Their star's going to be MVP again.
Yep.
They had a bunch of injuries and still winning games. They just punched the Lakers in the mouth and beat them by 50. And it's they cheating. He's a foul baiter. They flop. Lou Dort is the dirtiest player in sports. You know, the coach ain't that good. We hear it all the time when teams win beyond what we want them to win. But here's the funny thing. It's only reserved for, not to say a handful of teams, for most of the teams that aren't the fan favorites. For example, if out of nowhere the Dallas Cowboys turned into a dynasty.
You're reading my mind.
They would love it. If the New York Yankees started to turn into the Dodgers again, they would love it. If the LeBron and Lakers won 4 of the last 5 championships, people would love it. But when it's teams that's not on your list that should be promoted, teams or players, it's uncomfortable.
So it sounds like to me, Cerrone, you're saying that everyone has a list in their mind. And if that team doesn't fall on the list, you start to hate.
You're not a VIP team. You shouldn't be winning. The Patriots weren't a VIP team. They weren't the Packers. They weren't the Broncos. You know what I'm saying? Right. They weren't the Cowboys. So Washington at the time.
One was cool, but then
one is cool.
You start touching 3 and you hear the word dynasty.
But here's what made the Patriots one cool. They beat another team that wasn't a VIP team. The Rams weren't supposed to be there. People were happy the Rams didn't turn into a dynasty because there was nobody that was a Rams fan. So the Patriots came in and knocked out a C-level team franchise that was bouncing around all over America. And it was, they beat the mighty Rams, you know. But then when the Patriots started winning and they started beating up on Peyton Manning, the guy they wanted to be the man, then they started beating up on the Steelers. Whoa, what are we doing here? Then they just kept going. They beat the Eagles, a high-level franchise that everybody loved. You beat the Eagles, you beat the Steelers, you beat Peyton Manning. You're not supposed to do this. They got to be doing this. They cheating. It's in every sport. The Thunder don't belong there. But when the Celtics win, it's good for sports. When the Lakers win, it's good. You see what I'm saying? To your case. The Michigan wasn't. They weren't them at the time. They weren't that school, and they came out of nowhere punching everybody in the head. And it was like, wait a minute. Them and UNLV. They weren't UNC. They weren't Kentucky. But then when they came in there and kind of made a name for themselves, something had to go. We can't allow this.
See, I think
it has a VIP team.
I wrote down 2 things that I thought it has to, that I think it has to do with. I think number 1, the fan base. If the fan base becomes extremely arrogant and loud, then that's when things switch for that franchise. And then overall, I already said the word, but arrogance in general. I think if a team starts to walk around with their head up, they don't come out of the tunnel as a team anymore, but they're more so like, you know, with shades and show up with suits and all that. All of a sudden, the average sports fan is like, I can't identify with them anymore. I don't want to see them win. Get them out of here. And they're winning. I get them out of there.
Yeah, Tom Brady goes on the cover of GQ with the sheep. And it's all, who's he think he is? Well, he knew who he was, come to find out. But it's uncomfortable for some because they want you to be the underdog.
Yes.
Everybody likes Drake May now. But like I said, once he gets rid of the Joel Osteen, he grows his beard out, he's on the cover of magazines. And he doesn't even have to win Super Bowls. If he's this good year after year after year like Josh Allen, I don't like him. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he throws. I don't like those uniforms on. Why is he on TV every day? Why do the refs keep giving him flags?
Yep.
It all starts adding up, you know, and it's just it's accelerated now because of social media. It almost happens overnight. Like a minute your team wins a championship, people are like, yo, I didn't see you cheering last week. It's like, yo, because they weren't champions last week. They're champions now, and I'm going to enjoy this for the offseason.
Unbelievable. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, listen, we got to talk about A.J. Debonsa, Brockton's own. A former Patriot is calling it a career. Tiger Woods out there just acting a fool. And the Celtics looking unbeatable and so much more. We're going to talk about all those things. It's Leroy and Cerrone, 9-5, the Sports Hub.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Right, in rhythm, no good.
All right, welcome back. Leroy and Cerrone, 985 The Sports Hub. How y'all feeling out there? Hit us up, 617-779-0985. That was a highlight, one of many, from Brockton's own A.J. DeBonta, going crazy at BYU this past season. Before we talk about him, though, we got somebody on the line, Cerrone, but before we bring this person on, I just want to say to the Neanderthals out there listening who have a problem with women's sports, just remember, it's okay to come outside the cave. You can stop eating raw meat with your hands.
Dragging your knuckles.
Stop dragging your knuckles.
But wait.
It's okay. Fire has been discovered. Just want to let you know.
So do some of these individuals not have daughters or sisters that play sports or stuff like that?
Apparently not. Apparently not.
Oh.
Let's go to Mike in Weymouth. Mike.
After that, my wife was a Division I hockey player for the Maine Black Bears. Anyway, listen, there's one thing about Gino down there in Storrs, Connecticut, is he wants to sit there and compare himself to John Wooden and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not taking anything away from what the Yukon girls basketball team has meant to their sport. But I bet you in that 30-year run and his 25 Final Fours, 2 of Jim Calhoun's national titles have brought in 10 times the money.
Appreciate it, Mike. You know what, Cerrone? I just got an idea. But it sounds like you want to respond to him first. Go ahead, and then I'll tell the idea.
I wouldn't necessarily say that's true. Jim Calhoun, he won a couple championships there. I would say UConn women got if you want to name the top 10 influential players that down in Storrs, Connecticut, I would probably say 10 of them are women's players.
Snap. Dang.
Think about it. Just think of the superstars in women's basketball that came from Connecticut.
Where you put Ray Allen? Where do you put?
See, that's the problem. How many years did Ray play?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right.
When you do, that's your problem right there when it comes to men's basketball. It's a problem with men's basketball today, and it was 20 years ago. The great players come and they go. They give you 2 years max, and they're out of the door. The best players in women's basketball, they're there for 4 years. They rack up multiple championships.
And they make that
multiple records. They have a connection.
Yeah.
They're recognizable faces. If you pull up the list of the most dominant female basketball players in this country, half of them came through Connecticut.
That's true.
They have a legacy, and you want to talk about money? No. Man, UConn's men's basketball is elite. UConn's women's baskall is legendary. It's a difference.
There's a difference.
They are UCLA of today.
Hey,
and their star power is brought in many millions. Real quick, UConn's football got pretty good recently, right? You don't think that little NIL money they pulling in from UConn's basketball all of a sudden got sprinkled over across the football team? You better believe it.
Yeah.
Now that they can do it legally, you better believe the money they're getting from that basketball team is being spread out across that university and that campus, and they're all eating well because of Gino and that basketball team.
Speaking of men versus women players staying in the NCAA, we got to talk about Brockton's own A.J. DeBonta. But before we do that, real quick, 617-779-0985. Men, we have a chance to show the city and show other men that we're not all the same. Hit us up if you want to shout out the lady in your life who is a phenomenal athlete, who has done something great in sports, who has contributed in some type of way, and you're not ashamed to say it. 617-779-0985. Now, A.J. DeBonta is supposed to be projected to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. He did his thing at BYU. They got knocked out in the first round, but he put on a show, and he's been putting on a show all season. He's probably going to leave. And I say probably because not too long ago in an interview, he said, you know what, I may come back. Mind you, he said it with a little bit of a smirk on the face. I don't know how seriously you can take him, but he said his mother wants him to get his degree. Cerrone, if you were his parents, or if you are or were a parent in that position, what are you advising your child to do?
That's tough. I think the NIL's changed it. Years ago, people, you'd always hear, well, go get the money. Go change your family, change your life. You got the big money there. It's life-changing money. Even back when, top 5 picks is getting $1 million, $2 million. If you weren't guaranteed to be a lottery player or in any sport, a first-round pick, second round, if you're making $500,000 a year, go take the money, change your life. You can always go back to school. Well, NIL changed that. AJ already making more than Cooper Flag in the NBA. He's making good money playing college ball. And I think now with the money already being there, the family in your life has already changed. I think I would kind of have more fun in college.
Wow.
If I'm making $7 million, I'm in college, I'm chilling, I get a chance to win a championship. Yo, would you rather be playing for BYU competing in the Big 12 or playing for the Utah Jazz?
You're not taking into consideration possibly
I'm not
getting
going
hurt.
to Jazz.
You're not taking into consideration that your child might possibly get hurt and ruin his future in the NBA.
In this day and age, we're watching not only Jason Tatum, DeJounte Murray.
Yep.
These guys out there hooping after tearing Achilles.
Yeah.
ACL injuries now and nothing. It's not like it used to be. If AJ, God forbid, he got a major injury, Achilles, ACL, MCL, whatever, bro, still probably can play in October. That's where we're at now. It's Pat Mahomes just destroyed his knee in December. And we're already like, yeah, but Kansas City, they're going to be fine come September. Like, whoa, since when? But that's where we're at now. So you can get the money. You can get hurt. The NBA is still going to be there. Okay, you won't go number 1 or number 5. You're still going lottery. You're still going to get paid. And to be honest, if you slip to 14, 15 in the draft, now you're going to a competitive team as opposed to if you stay where you're at, you're going to Utah, you're going to New Orleans, you're going to Sacramento. I think the reason these guys are hesitant to come out because they don't want to go to those cities. Those cities don't invest back in their teams. They don't win. So it's like, I think I'd rather stay in college. You going to give me $5 million a year to be the man on campus? And I get the hoop. The league going to be there next year. Maybe somebody else will be at the bottom. And I'll go play in Memphis as opposed to playing in Utah.
All right, when we come back, we got to talk about a former Patriot. He's saying goodbye to the game. We got a good question on that. And then again, fellas, let's do our job and show some of the brotherhood that it's okay to talk about women in sports. Call in 617-779-0985 and shout out the lady in your life who is a sports head, has done something phenomenal in sports. Don't be ashamed. Stop it. 617-779-0985. He's Cerrone Battle. I'm Leroy Irvin, 985 The Sports Hub.
Dutcher and Hardy, Owen Beetle, Felger and Mass, the Bruins, the Celtics, the Pats, the Revolution. This is Boston's home for sports. WBC FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, brace yourselves, because I'm talking about women's college basketball, the Final Four. Wild game as South Carolina beat UConn 62-48, and the aftermath between Dawn and Gino was unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. UCLA defeated Texas 51-44 to make the finals. On the men's side, for the right to play in the championship game, Illinois and UConn at 6:09, Michigan and Arizona at 8:49. Moving to the NBA, the Celtics easy over the Bucks, 133-101. Cooper Flag became the youngest player in NBA history at 19 to have a 50-point game. Flag scored 51 for Dallas. However, they lost to Orlando 138-107. The NBA is investigating the Bucks over Giannis Antetokounmpo's health status, and Lakers superstar Luka Doncic will miss at least the remainder of the regular season with a hamstring injury. The home opener for the Red Sox was a successful one as they beat the Padres 5-2. They'll play each other again today at 4:10. The Bruins and Lightning will face off tonight at 5. Catch all the action right here on 985 The Sports Hub, and your New England Revolution will battle it out against CF Montreal. That starts at 4:30. You can catch that on the Sports Hub HD2 station. The Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by DN Van Lines. Take the chance out of your move and make the sure bet with DN Van Lines, an approved mover of the Department of Defense, DNVanlines.com. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is in an hour.
Actually coaching the game, or it's just that is. I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
The Sports. Two local guys, lots of local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Takes the snap. Harmon on a blitz. Goff throws it to the right. Gilmore's there. Intercepted at the 4. Harmon forced the pick, and Gilmore comes up with it. His second of the postseason.
What a call!
And possession of the Patriots.
What a call by Brian Flores.
0985. That clip that was played before was of the one and only Stephon Gilmore, who at one point was a New England Patriot. And so I'm putting this question out there. You feel free to answer, but Cerrone, I'm directing this one towards you.
Okay.
Who are your top 3 cornerbacks in Patriots history since 2001?
Oh.
Who are your top 3 cornerbacks in Patriots history since 2001? You can come all the way up to today. I have my 3, and then after that, I have another question.
I want you to say yours because I know mine's going to be controversial. My number 1 going to be controversial.
Oh, so we got to rank them. Okay.
I just know who I think was the best one.
Okay.
I know that much.
Oh my Lord, I'm looking at this. I'm not as bold as you, Cerrone. I'm not going to rank them for myself. Okay. I have Revis, and we're not talking about who spent the most time. Just flat out, you put them on the field.
Who's the best?
Who's the best? I have Revis. I have Ty Law, and I have Asante Samuel.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, who you got?
I agree. Only one I would take off of that was Revis. I would take Revis off. Revis was here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, but see, we said we're not talking about time. We're talking about just straight up game.
I would put Gilmore over him because I think they win without Revis. I think he just came and got himself a ring and left. All right, thanks, y'all. Him dipped. I think they could have won without him. Because thinking back, I mean, I know the phone lines are probably lighted, but somebody hit on Twitter. What about that game on October 8th during the blackout where he did the thing and the thing? Mm-hmm. I don't remember him doing nothing. Maybe that's a good thing.
That's part of
Maybe that's
the argument.
Good thing.
Yes.
I don't remember him making that kind of impact. And recently, I think the effort that I saw from Gonzalez through the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl against the Offensive Player of the Year and the best receiver in the game, elevated him, even though they didn't win the game. I know we're not celebrating guys that didn't win.
Right.
His individual performance was outstanding and one of the better ones I think we've seen from any DB in a Patriot uniform since 2001.
So let me ask you
this. That was an outstanding effort. I would even put him ahead of Revis. But I got Gilmore. Gilmore, you can pull up the tape like he won that. Gilmore in the Super Bowl. Yep. There he is again. There he is making plays. But my number 1 guy is Asante Samuel. Playmaker. Asante Samuel was a playmaker. And he don't get enough credit. I understand the beef with him and Bill on social media and his mouth. Throw all that out the window and just roll the tape. Asante Samuel was a playmaker. That dude was pick sixing everybody. And not only that, he was tackling. He was blowing people up. He was making plays. He didn't have the, I don't know what you want to call it. He just wasn't as sexy. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. Ty Law makes a play. He's still dancing from interceptions he made in 03. Like right now, he's still dancing. We all know the little Zorro thing he used to do with the ball.
Yep.
The whole secondary used to dance in the end zone before it was cool. Like he was very flashy about the way he went about it. And that is as good as selling himself. And I'm not saying Ty Law was not a good. Ty Law is a Hall of Fame talented player. Asante Samuel was filthy. And Asante Samuel left New England, went to Philly, Pro Bowl, and carried it on. He kept picking people off. Ty Law has 53 interceptions. Asante Samuel got 51. He's on his heels. He right there. Asante Samuel, to me, was a playmaker. And again, with the years he was at his best, the team wasn't at their best. And I think that kept him from getting the recognition of a Ty Law because they won when Ty Law was here. So that's a huge boost. Asante Samuel was the reason you was up in Indianapolis in 06. Pick 6, Manning. How many times did he take Manning back to the house? But he was a playmaker, and he showed up against the best players. He was making the plays in the run game, making plays in the pass game. But I got Asante Samuel number 1. But my top 3, I got Ty Law, Samuel, and I've got Stephon Gilmore there. I can't put Revis in over them guys. His body of work is too short.
So again, y'all, in honor of the word, and congratulations to Stephon Gilmore, who's retiring. The question is, who are the top 3 cornerbacks for the Patriots since 2001? You've heard what we had to say. We want to hear from you. Now, Cerrone, I got to ask you this, though, before we take a break. You have Christian Gonzalez close. How close is he to being in that top 3, and what needs to happen in his career in order for him to crack that?
At this point now, he just got to win.
Just got to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Asante Samuel didn't win. So
even though he's young, man, he hasn't had,
I don't think there's much more you can do. The dude's already all pro good. He's already there. Now, what he's not going to get, and I don't know if it's a style of play or whatever, I don't think he's ever going to catch those guys statistically. That's the problem. He's not going to catch what Ty Law did statistically. He's not going to do the side. I mean, like I said, both those guys have over 50 interceptions. Gilmore's only got 32, just to show the difference. Asante Samuel has 20 more interceptions than Stephon Gilmore. Just think about that for a second. But I don't think Gonzalez is going to get that volume of turnovers or interceptions to put him statistically in that category. But as far as being a playmaker and people avoiding him, yeah, I definitely have him up there.
Once again, 617-779-0985 is the number. We are all
number Revis War.
We are all. Didn't he have Ty's number?
Exactly.
The same thing with Gilmore too.
People are calling in. They want to talk about a multitude of things that we have talked about. Some people have even called in to talk about women's sports. Oh, my God. Let's go to the calls and see what they want to talk about. Jay in Dorchester.
What's up, fellas? How's everything going?
Everything's good.
All right. I never met her, but I want to bring up Candace Parker, man. Shout her out, Hall of Fame, 3-time world champion, finals MVP, only first player to win the MVP and Rookie of the Year the same year, 2-time gold medal winner, defensive player. Like us, man, we got to shout out these winners. We got to back them up, man. But you guys have a blessed day once again. Take it easy.
Appreciate it, Jay. See, if you didn't hear, the reason why Jay called up to shout out a woman in sports is because we received a message that somebody was highly disappointed with us because we were talking about women's sports. And we said, we got to stop with this. Fellas, we got to show some of our brethren that it's 2026. If there's a lady in your life who you want to shout out when it comes to sports, or someone who you respect in sports, a lady or woman that you respect in sports, do it. We got to send the message, 617-779-0985. Let's go to Hugh in Easton. I believe he wants to talk about the current Pats. Hugh.
Yes, I want to talk about E.J. Brown. Everybody told me he's coming to the Patriots. What do you think about E.J. Brown coming to the Patriots?
Well, Cerrone, personally, I'm a little bit sick and tired of all the back and forth concerning A.J. Brown, to the point where I'm like, you know what? If something happens or when something happens with A.J. Brown, whether it's with the Patriots or not, just hit me up then. Because now it's just turned into a lot of people guessing and assuming and all this.
You're not going to know until June. So
you won't know. You won't know. Before we go to break, let's go to Cappy and Milton. He wants to talk about the top 3 cornerbacks in Patriots history. Well, not history, since 2001. Cappy.
You shocked me. You said Asante first. It's like 2007 in the Super Bowl. Catch the ball, please. And then it's like some of the interceptions Asante got were thrown right at him, right in the breadbasket. It's just
50
like,
of them?
he sucks.
Go ahead, Cerrone. What did you say?
50 of them?
That is one play that I know people are going to hold against him, and I get it. I understand. But you got to look at his body of work.
You're not there without Asante Samuel. You're not in that position without Asante Samuel. You're not even there. It's just it wasn't a completed pass, by the way. It was also if you tipped it at the line of scrimmage, is a bad play. Yeah, that would have sealed and iced the game and probably put him in the Hall of Fame. But it should not have come down to that. Come on now. I know that one stinks because that would have sealed the deal. You know what would have been better? If he was on Plexico instead of Ellis Hobbs. We're talking about bad decisions. You knew that game was in trouble and Bill showed up in the red hoodie. Like, what are you doing, bro?
That play right there, I remember I turned away from the TV before the touchdown even happened. I was watching him at the line.
You're like, why is Ellis Hobbs on?
And as soon as they said hike, I said, oh, no. I turned away and walked away. I said, I don't want to see this.
I still can't watch it.
Let's go to Jack in the car. Jack, be nimble. Jack, be quick. Jack, about to hang up, and you're going to have to call again. Oh, that rhymed. Anyways, well, sort of, kind of. We got to take a quick break. When we get back,
Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Home.
Man, it feels like I can smell the bacon and eggs, and I can hear my father say, y'all get up, it's time to clean. Don't y'all watch no cartoons before you clean this house. I miss those days. To the youngins out there, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You might hate discipline and being held in check and having things and responsibilities at your age, but trust me, it is absolutely worth it. Being told no, I hated it when I was a kid, but I appreciate it as a grown adult now. It's 98.5 The Sports Hub. Leroy and Cerrone Show, 617-779-0985. We got to talk about somebody who I think needs to hang it up. But before we do, we were talking about Stephon Gilmore, former Patriot. He's calling in a career. And then we got into the conversation of the top 3 cornerbacks since 2001 for your New England Patriots. Cerrone and I both mentioned Asante Samuel. Let's go to Jack in the car. Jack.
Hey, good afternoon, fellas. How are you today?
Good afternoon.
Hey, Cerrone, I think someone has just lit you up just before me, but I'd like to pile on if I could. So, Asante Samuel was a really good cornerback, as Bill Buckner was a great baseball player. But he had the Bill Buckner moment. He could have sealed the win for the Patriots in that 2008 Super Bowl, and he let the easiest interception he might ever have had just trickle through his hands. And here's what really aggravates me. So you can sing his praises, and he's probably legitimately in the top 3. But you ignored, as you were touting him and telling us how great he was, I'm waiting for you to at least acknowledge that play, and you didn't until somebody lit you up about it. So shame on you. Next time, tell the whole story.
Shame. Y'all are so extra. Y'all are so dramatic. Shame on you, Cerrone.
Shame on me because I didn't bring up the bad plays. We can spend the next hour bringing up the Ty Law missed tackles and
go
bad
ahead,
plays
Cerrone,
and
do your
blown
thing.
coverages. We can spend the reason why Stephon Gilmore isn't here anymore. We can go over all their bad plays.
Cook.
I can go over all the bad reasons why Gonzalez doesn't deserve the money if you want to.
Shame.
We can do this with all these guys. We can line the whole team up. I was on here and got criticized because I told you about all the bad tendencies of Drake May. We can do this with every player. I can bring up all the bad plays from Tom Brady and why they didn't win that Super Bowl. An offense that scored 30 a game couldn't get across midfield. But we're going to point it on the one guy. He dropped that pass. Yes, he did. What about the Richard Seymour missed tackles in the backfield? What about the lack of a ground game? What about the poor coaching decisions? The bad special teams plays? Letting Eli Manning look like Peyton Manning. Not once, twice in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, you getting safeties because you want to throw it out of the back? We can bring up all the negative plays from all these teams, all these players. But the question is, who's the best? Why do I think they were the best? I didn't say he was the greatest player of all time. I didn't say he was perfect. I don't think Ty Law was perfect. I think he was right place, right time, to be honest with you. But the man asked me who did I think, and I brought up a guy that has 50 interceptions. 50. 5-0. 50. And one caller said, well, they threw them all right to him 50 times, bro. But shouldn't he get credit for being in the right place at the right time to understand where the quarterback was going to go with the ball 50 times? Stephon Gilmore, I just mentioned, has 30, and we think he might be in the Hall of Fame. But the guy that has 50, well, he was just lucky. What? Yes, he dropped that pass. You're not 16-0 without Asante Samuel. I'm sorry. You're not in position to win that game without Asante Samuel. If you don't have him there, you might have lost the game early and got blown out because the offense couldn't get downfield. Randy Moss did nothing. Wes Welker was the man on offense, but you couldn't run the ball. You couldn't protect your quarterback. He was limping. You couldn't draw up any plays. But we're going to focus on that one drop pass out of the 90 snaps. That's the one that got you. It wasn't the one leaving no safety help over the top on Ellis Hobbs. Or my biggest gripe about that game, I hate that we're gonna pick old scabs. We can do that today. My biggest gripe Rodney Harrison isn't in the Hall of Fame because we looked at him as one of the dirtiest players in football history. He was notorious for knocking people out. In the one moment he should have knocked somebody out cold, he doesn't do it and went for the ball, and we lost the game because Rodney Harrison decided to be a nice guy at the worst possible time in football history. That's why we lost that Super Bowl. If Rodney Harrison laid out the hit stick justice, that ball is on the ground. We are celebrating Super Bowls. Rodney's in the Hall of Fame. Asante Samuel's probably in the Hall of Fame because he got a Super Bowl and multiple Pro Bowls to go with his Super Bowl win. But we can nitpick on all the negatives we want. We got time. We got another hour. I can pull up multiple reasons why this Patriots team didn't win when they were supposed to win. We can go back to 2006. Asante Samuel gave you the lead. What was it, 21-7 Leroy at halftime?
I believe so.
We thought it was over. We high-stepping in the end zone and ended. We thought it was over. But no, what happened? Offense completely fell apart. Tom Brady falling apart. He throwing interceptions. They couldn't make tackles. We could do this all day if this is where y'all want to go with this. But he asked me, who did I think were the best quarterbacks since 2001? Not the greatest of all time. 2001 Patriots. Ty Law? Yes. I put Asante Samuel on there because his numbers, his body of work were elite. These other guys, Revis, he was here for a good time, not a long time. He played 16 games, got his championship, got up out of there. Stephon Gilmore played 2 years, got his, he got up out of there. Asante Samuel was here longer, made more plays. Yeah, he didn't win when he was here, but let's not sit here and act like the dude wasn't a good player because he went to Philly and made the Pro Bowl 4 years in a row and just did it again in Atlanta, and he was pick sixing all the way until the day he retired.
Cerrone,
Come on,
let's
man.
keep it 1,000. I think there are a lot of people, a lot of Patriots fans who don't like him today because of how he's outspoken and how he talks about Bill.
That's where a lot of it is.
That's where a lot of that comes from.
That's where most, because he talks about Bill and, well, I'm going to say this. He was the first one to talk about Bill and his attitude and how he handles things. All of a sudden now, Bill's moved on with the Carolina. All of a sudden, everybody on the podcast talking about Bill. But he was the only one that had the nerve to do it when Bill was still here. I mean, it is what it is. But everything he said about Bill, we've all said right here on 985 The Sports Hub. And it's showing itself now that he's gone to do other things. All-time great coach, probably the greatest of all time. Had his mistakes. Asante Samuel, yeah, he's top 3 corner since 2001. He's had his mistakes and issues. But between those lines, he was a playmaker for this team and was a dominant cornerback in the NFL. Made, like I said, 5 straight Pro Bowls. Come on now. We would only pray Gonzalez makes 5 straight Pro Bowls and gets 50 interceptions.
You're just answering the question, to be fair, too. And I think Leroy, who started this and provoked this, you could do the same thing with like wide receivers if you wanted to put for the millennium, right? You get Moss, Edelman, Welker, and people will remember the Welker Buckner moment as well.
I was about to say, you can't bring up Wes Welker and say, well, we can't leave his dropout.
Yeah. So no,
you lost because he dropped the ball.
Samuel, I lump him into that middle dynasty that wasn't, with Welker, Mankins, Randy Moss, Ellis Hobbs. What could have been, especially if we would have won either of those Super Bowls, and they would have been crowned royalty. So, I think it's just a nerve that touches the fans' hearts more so than the Bill stuff. I think it's just they had the Buckner moment, and it's hard to let that go.
617-779-0985. Before we go to break, Cerrone, you was mentioning NFL players, and they've made mistakes, and some have had issues and all that. There's a player, his name is Tiger Woods. He's definitely have made mistakes and had issues off the golf course. Cerrone, I believe yesterday, his private jet landed in Switzerland after his DUI arrest. If Tiger Woods is able to get himself together, I still don't want to see him compete anymore. I'm over Tiger Woods. I'm done with all things Tiger Woods associated, and I really don't understand why anybody would want to see him return to the golf course.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, and I know, now please don't take this comparison the wrong way, but I think guys hang around too long. They hang around so long that they kind of ruin their legacy.
Yep.
And we're seeing this, the Belichick thing. Belichick, if he walks out when Brady leaves, I'm done. Instead of chasing Shula, there's no more drama.
Yep.
Then the Mac Jones stuff don't happen. No one cares what's going on with his girlfriend, all this other stuff. If he had retired 5 years ago, LeBron James, I put in that category. Bro, just leave.
Just leave.
What are you doing? He talking, I can't play back to back. I can't sleep in no Hyatt in Memphis. It's like, well, go home and get in the bed.
Yep.
What are you complaining for? Tiger Woods, maybe he's chasing Jack. He's trying to get the numbers, whatever. If he would have just stopped playing when the first drama happened, we would have remembered him as the great player. Now all this other stuff is getting piled on top of his career, so it's like, yo, we're going to remember you more for your off-the-field nonsense than what you did on the green.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. I don't want to see him come back because I'm scared something else is going to happen, or he's got to get himself together. But I think he's one of the top players. You want to listen a top three? Who has tarnished their name more? As an elite level guy, tarnished their name more than Tiger Woods.
He's on that list for sure. Listen, the phone lines are open and people are calling about a whole lot. So when we get back, I see some more Asante Samuel phone calls. Some agree, some disagree.
First team All-Pro in 07, by the way. He was first team All-Pro in 07. Wow. You ain't there without him.
So we'll get to those. Plus, we got to talk about the Celtics and the NBA. I see the NBA calls already lined up, and the Celtics are looking really, really, really good. But can they maintain? We'll talk about that next. Leroy and Cerrone Show, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
your calls, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Stuff in Sante Samuel.
Yep.
Sante Samuel in the playoffs as a Patriot has more interceptions, more touchdowns, and more pass breakups than Ty Law did as a Patriot in the playoffs. Sante Samuel has 60 more pass breakups than Ty Law. 60 more. Like, it's not even close. And the one time he did not make the the Pro Bowl. He didn't make the Pro Bowl as a Patriot. And let me get the season right. Okay, in the 2005 season, Asante Samuel led the NFL in interceptions and pass breakups. And you, Patriot fans, you didn't even vote him into the Pro Bowl. Asante Samuel led the NFL in interceptions and pass breakups and did not get selected to the Pro Bowl. So that's one great year. He led the league. And then he followed it up in 2007 with 6. Made the Pro Bowl All-Pro. Then he gets 4 interceptions, 9 interceptions, 7 interceptions, Pro Bowl, Pro Bowl, Pro Bowl, Pro Bowl. Leads the league in pass breakups. Leads the league again, pass breakups. Ends his career with 164 to Ty Law's. Hold on, let me get it here. Let me get it.
Uh-oh.
To Ty Law's 108. Folks, there's a good chance he might have been better. But I'm going to give you that. Statistically, if you want to pull the numbers up, he was better. He got in the end zone. He got in the end zone more than Wes Welker did in the playoffs. Jesus Christ. But I mean, Asante Samuel, if you look up his stats, playoffs and regular season, you see a lot of bold around the numbers. That means he led the league in those categories. The guy was getting multiple interceptions every year he was in the playoffs. He was a big play corner. And the fact that everybody's acting like they didn't see this stuff happen 51 times is beyond me. It's crazy, but I mean, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all that. Yep, he dropped that pass in 2007, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it go and act like his 7 interceptions
I think
that got you there in 2007 didn't matter.
You did a phenomenal job pointing out where other players on this team that we love messed up. So it's not fair to go that way with Asante.
Jake Delhomme, he threw for 380 yards against that Patriots defense. You won the game, but Tyler got cooked the whole game.
Hey, Cerrone,
Muhammad's still running down the sideline.
There's somebody in Groveland. His name is David, and I think he agrees with you. What's up, David?
Hey, guys. I couldn't agree more. You are preaching to the choir. I'm telling you, I listened to you guys on Saturday, first time I ever called. This is like the most refreshing thing I've ever heard. The Patriots did nothing. They should have paid that man. They did nothing but chase another corner. Chase it and chase it and chase it until they picked up Darrelle Revis after he was already playing for the Jets. Pay the guy that was there. Bill used to always preach, do what's best for the team. He's so full of it. The best thing for the team would have been keep Asante Samuel. What in the world were they thinking?
Appreciate it, David. Yeah, Cerrone, you definitely are not alone.
Yeah, he left, to the Carl's point. He left the Patriots. He was 26 years old when he left New England. He left as a Pro Bowler. 6 interceptions, 18 pass break, all that stuff. He left as a Pro Bowler. He goes to Philly, and this is they say he gets a 3-year deal when he leaves New England. He made the Pro Bowl in Philly the next 3 seasons in a row. Like, this dude led the NFL again in interceptions in Philadelphia when he was 28. You could have got Asante Samuel at 27. He's 27 years old, 28, 29, and he was a Pro Bowl the rest of his 20s. You could have got him, and you didn't pick him up. And ironically, those were the times when the Patriots didn't really get over the hump.
If you're just
you could have used that guy.
If you're just tuning in, this is Leroy and Cerrone. We were talking about Gilmore. He's retiring. He used to play for the Pats. And so we were like, who are the top 3 cornerbacks since 2001 for the New England Patriots? We both have Asante on our list. But for some reason, it just ticked people off that you had Asante so high. You didn't have him at number 1. You had him at number 2, right?
No, I said I could easily put him as the number 1 cornerback. That was from back because statistically he was better.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have no beef with Ty Law. The man won.
I hear you.
He won. He's got the rings. I mean, I'm not going to argue that.
Let's move on, and y'all can call and talk about that still. 617-779-0985. Statistically, another team that's looking really, really good is your Boston Celtics. My God, let's just look at the last 2 games. especially that Miami game. 53 points in the first quarter, which is a franchise record. They beat Miami 147-129. And then last night, they beat Milwaukee easy 133-101. Cerrone, the depth of the team has gotten a lot of praise, and rightfully so. Now, once the playoffs start, my question is, should Missoula go the traditional route and shorten the rotation or remain the same like he's been all this season? I mean, again, that rotation, that depth has gotten a lot of praise. Why would anybody want to shorten that up? Or is that the right way to go?
I think it's the right way. I think he should play his guys that have been getting him there because I think they all play a role. They all play a role. They all fit. They're a puzzle piece that all fits together, and there's a reason why they succeed. Everybody has their moments. You need Pritchett. You need Hauser shooting. You need what he gives you, and he's giving you more. I got to give Hauser credit. He's turning more from just being a spot-up shooter to a pure hooper. He's comfortable. You see him pump fake on the three, step up, take the mid-game. You see him crashing glass. You see him kind of getting closer to the rim more, getting to the free throw line. Neemias Queta's balling out. Garza's doing his thing. Now, you might not see Gonzalez a lot because he's a rookie. Mm-hmm. But I think there's going to be certain times, certain matchups where he's going to be key. If I'm playing the Knicks and I need bodies to keep throwing at Brunson, hey, come in and give me 5 fouls, man.
Right.
I need chop him up, make him work. But I think he's going to play everybody. But you have to remember, Vucevic will be back any day. And when Vucevic comes back, the rotation with the big men might change a little bit. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think having 3 serviceable bigs is that's kryptonite to most of the league. And I think Vucevic, because of his rebounding, he's a walking double-double. He's a veteran. He's a former all-star in this league. And he's an elite, exceptional passer at the center position. And I can only imagine what that'll look like with Tatum because we haven't seen that together. He came in, I think they played 1 minute together. He's in, Tatum was out. Well, Tatum came in, he went out with the thumb, whatever, finger. And we haven't seen them together, but Tatum's chemistry with big men tells me that him and Vucevic are going to have an amazing connection once they get rolling. But I think you kind of have to play everybody. It's your strength, and I think everybody's doing it around the league. It's not like you're doing something that, that no one else would be doing, but I think using your depth and your bench is your secret, not secret to your success. Mm-hmm. It's how you're going to win games. It's your strength over most teams, and you're going to need it because I don't want to see Tatum and Brown get cold because they're playing 45 minutes. Not turning the ball over is why you're where you're at in the standings. You're the best team in the league, and not turning it over. Fatigue leads to turnovers. So I think you have to play your guys, put your work in early, get big leads, sit late. I think that's how you work it. But everybody who's been playing, I think, has to play when you get into the playoffs, especially if this team makes it to the later rounds.
All right, another quick break. Want to ask you something else about the Celtics when we get back, Cerrone. Plus, the phone lines are open for...
No, ain't no one beating them in the East. Sorry.
The phone lines are open for any and everything, and people are calling. They want to talk about the Celtics. They want to talk about the NBA, and yes, Asante Samuel being arguably number 1 on Cerrone's list of the top 3 cornerbacks for the Patriots since 2001.
Don't get blinded by the dancing.
We'll do it all. Coming up next, Leroy and Cerrone, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Is Boston the clear team to beat in the Eastern Conference? What do you think, Stephen A?
I believe so.
Welcome back, 985 The Sports Hub. You can tell Stephen A's hurt because he's like, man, I was really hoping my Knicks were going to have a chance this season, but he sees the writing on the wall. If they stay healthy, man, sky's the limit for your Boston Celtics. It is what it is. Let's go right back to the phones. People want to talk about the Celtics, the NBA, and also Asante Samuel as a top 3 cornerback since 2001 for your New England Patriots. I don't know. Some agree, some disagree. We'll see. But let's see. We got Chris, who's been waiting for let me see. Chris in Easton. What's up, Chris?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I don't know if you, good, thanks. I don't know if you noticed in the game against the Heat the other night, there was a moment under the basket where, like, Jaylen Brown and Adebayo were kind of going at it, like jostling for the ball, and it got a little heated after. And I was thinking, like, God, I wouldn't want to mess with Adebayo. But then, like, I looked at Jaylen Brown. I'm like, I wouldn't want to mess with him. Like, I think he's, like, the same size, not height, but, like, I think you could actually take him. And it kind of, like, brought me back to, like, the point, Cerrone, you made a few weeks ago in Felger and Maz, where you're like, if you're going to have this extra muscle, like, use it. Don't shoot threes. And after you said that, I was paying attention to Brown, and I'm like, I feel like he uses his muscle to get to the hole, either getting a foul, getting a 2, and just, even both ways. And, I know Tatum isn't really doing that. But
appreciate it, Chris. Cerrone, I think Jaylen Brown was listening to you, maybe. I don't know. But can you talk about Jaylen Brown's physicality?
Yeah, I did. I talked about both of them, bulking up. And, I talked about me and you were at the media day. And I asked Tatum, I said, what's the point? You guys are lifting a lot. You posting a lot on social media, gaining a lot of muscle. And it was more of like a longevity thing so he can last through the season or whatever. But I know exactly what the caller was talking about. There's a moment they were under the basket, and Brown, and they were like, I was battling for a rebound or something. Bam went to push Jaylen Brown, and he didn't budge. And their jerseys got kind of twisted up, and you saw how big Jaylen Brown really was. And I'm looking at him like, that's a big dude, man. Like those are some big human beings. But Jaylen Brown, to Caller's point, he looked every bit as big as Bam Adebayo. And to Brown's credit all season, I think is a part of the key to his success. He has been going downhill. He's staying away from the three-point line. He's only taking a few of them a game. He's getting to the foul line because he's getting to the basket. But if he plays physical like that, he's a really tough guy to beat. And I think he's realizing this is my strength against most of the league. A lot of these guys ain't built like I am. And if I just keep going downhill, they're either going to move out the way, or I'm going to get the and one and get to the line or whatever. It's the LeBron thing. It's LeBron's success for 20-plus years. His size, getting downhill, you have no choice. And it's an era where no one's going to stand in front of you. They're either going to wrap you up or, let you get the layup or foul you, whatever. And Jaylen Brown, to the caller's point, he's using that. And you saw it when him and Bam collided. And at first, you're like, oh, Jaylen, you're dealing with a heavyweight there. And you looked and you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
He's like when they were really pushing the flex and looked like two defensive linemen, and it was like, oh, he's just as big as Bam. But if he uses it, that's absolutely a strength for this Celtics team, going forward.
Cerrone, you said LeBron James, he uses his body that way. Let's go to Al in Dorchester, who wants to talk about LeBron James. What's up, Al?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
What's up, man?
Look, it's funny you talking about LeBron, but I'm going back to what you said with players who need to go. Athletes who are sticking around too long, and I'd say he's one of them.
Yeah.
Simple fact that he's kind of, his numbers are pretty.
Yep.
But his influence on the league, part of it, this type of thing with the league, and this is their own fault when how they use the players to promote the league. Revenue-wise, you have a player rather than it's taken away from people rooting for teams. So when he roots for, you have people who are fans of players. And just a point of an example, when they played the Celtics, when he decided not to play, I'm sure the ratings went down on the game. Whereas if you have people who still root for teams, more people who root for teams, that doesn't happen.
Appreciate it. I can't bring.
That's a great point.
It is a great point, but Cerrone, I don't know if it's fair to put all the blame on LeBron for that. Because to be honest, it was the same way for Michael Jordan. And what I mean by that is people would root for him more so than the Bulls. Even though it was still kind of close.
You know what, though?
It was,
I think the Bulls, though, Jordan left him with to play ball. Yo, we still watch the Bulls and Knicks go at it on Sundays on NBC. They were still a draw. I was using the Bulls in NBA Jam. Pippen and Grant were ridiculous in NBA Jam. We were still using them.
That's true.
Pippen jerseys were still selling. The Bulls were still hot. Pippen still had Nike commercials. Yo, to his point, Luka went down with the hamstring. And they're like, what are the Lakers going to do? It's like, yo, I thought you told me they got the greatest player of all time. That's on the floor. And they're already like, what's the Lakers' options? What?
Unbelievable. Let's go to Eric in Bridgewater. He wants to talk about the Celtics. Eric.
Hey, fellas, how are we? I want to wish you guys a very happy Easter to you and your families.
Same to you.
Same to you, man.
So, appreciate it. So, I've got a comment and I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So the comment I'll make on the Celtics right now is this. Regardless of the injuries, regardless of the setbacks, it's a shocking thing that they are a 50-win team. But to be honest, I'm not surprised. Brad Stevens has done an amazing job. He's done amazing work at that office. And there's no question in my mind, in my opinion, they can take the Pistons to a 7-game series, and I think we're still the team to beat.
Absolutely. Thanks for the call, Eric. Eric reminded me of a question I wanted to ask you, Cerrone. A lot of talk has been about how JT and JB are the best duo in the game. But besides themselves as people, as individuals, who within the organization do you give the most credit to for their development? And that caller reminded that for me, I'm giving it to Brad Stevens. I'm giving him the credit for the development, for playing a role, a significant role in the development of JB and JT.
I put Brad, I got him up there. I say 1 and 1A. I still give Danny Ainge the credit. Danny Ainge is the one who took the heat for taking these guys. A lot of the reasons why Tatum still gets a lot of criticism nationally is because they bashed Danny Ainge for trading that pick away and not taking Markelle Fultz, Alonzo Ball. And instead of Nick Wright, Colin Cowherd, admitting they were wrong and Danny was right, they just saying, well, Tatum really, he's not a star like that. He's not really that good. But that goes back to Danny Ainge taking that swing and gambling with Tatum and Brown and the development of those two guys and realizing what I think is a key asset to both of them, the kind of people they are off the court.
Yes.
They have good guys in that organization. Those are two guys they're perfect human beings in this world that we live in sports today. You got the gold standard of teammates and leaders for a franchise, and I think that's key. But Brad Stevens' development of these two guys, and the biggest thing, and something you don't see anymore, you got to give Brad credit because he kept them together.
Yes.
You do not see duos stay like this together in sports. I don't care if it's two receivers. You can have left tackle and a guard don't play this long together in sports no more. And these guys to be together this long and to be tied in for the future, that's a remarkable thing. And have them want to be together.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned the left tackle.
Both of them getting paid. I mean, it's said it again. I'm sorry.
No, I said you said left tackles and guards. You don't see them stick together.
They don't even stay together. The Patriots done switched theirs already. They were just in the Super Bowl. And they had two rookies, and they said, "Now we got to break this up."
Speaking of football, before we go to break, there's two more callers who want to talk about the top 3 cornerbacks for your New England Patriots since 2001, since we were talking about Gilmore retiring. Let's go to Mark in Warwick, Rhode Island. Mark.
Hey, love listening to you guys. You guys do a great job.
Appreciate
but Cerrone is dead wrong putting Ty Law above Asante Samuel. And I'll tell you why, because he's just stat humping right now. Asante Samuel has better stats because he could not play man-to-man. He could only play zone. And I'll give you evidence of this, which nobody talks about. The biggest scapegoat in Pat's history is Ellis Hobbs, because Ellis Hobbs was forced to cover Plaxico Burress man-to-man in the Super Bowl because Asante Samuel could not do it. And he gave up 3 or 4 inches to Asante Samuel. It should have been him on Plaxico.
Appreciate it, Mark. Real quick, Cerrone.
Put himself on the other side of the field. He got a head coach. You got the greatest coach of all time. Put him over there. Come on. And real quick, Ty Law, he only played, what was the question? Since 01, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ty Law only played 2 playoffs since 01. He missed the 04 season. He was out. He only had 2 playoff runs since 2001. Asante Samuel was there the whole time. Ty Law was only there twice. He only had 4 seasons as a Patriot. The question was since 01. He only had 4 seasons. And in the time Ty Law from 01, Asante Samuel has 7 more interceptions. He has 49 more pass breakups. He has just as many pick sixes. And it's like, Ty Law, yeah, he was a good player. A lot of what you're memorizing with him was in the 90s. But the question was since 01.
Yep.
There's a footage of him, I think, when they won the AFC Championship against the Steelers. Ty Law's riding around on a rascal on a scooter because he didn't play. He had an injury. He was out all season. He wasn't even there. That was the question. But Asante Samuel, yeah, okay, he couldn't play man. Yes, he could. You don't get 50 interceptions and make 5 Pro Bowls because you can't play man defense. I mean, it's like, come on now. Come on with that now.
Let's get one more in before we go to break. Howard and Randolph. Howard.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
A lot of people don't talk about the fact that Asante Samuel dropped the potential winning interception against Eli Manning in the Super Bowl. So I hold that against them because if you're a great player, you got to make the play when it counts.
I'm sorry, Howard. We done been through this. Cerrone, don't blow a gasket, please. Please. Matter of fact, let's take a break so you can breathe. When we get back, if you would like to respond to that, Cerrone, you can. And we also have the GM for the Boston Legacy. He's going to join us. We're going to talk to him. And more of your calls. I see some Celtics calls coming through. Some more. Let's see. Patriots, too. Leroy and Cerrone, 9-day-5, the Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Tire Studio, this is
strong finger all up and go.
This is home of the 18-time world champion Boston Celtics. WBC FM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, women's college basketball, Final Four, wild game. South Carolina beat UConn 62-48. Is it okay to talk about women's basketball? There was an altercation between coaches at the end of the game that the world is talking about. UCLA defeated Texas 51-44 to make the finals on the men's side for the right to play in the championship game. Illinois and UConn at 6:09, Michigan and Arizona at 8:49. Moving on to the NBA, the Celtics over the Bucks, 133-101. You got Cooper Flagg becoming the youngest player in NBA history at 19 to have a 50-point game. He scored 51 for Dallas. However, Dallas lost to Orlando 138-107. The NBA is investigating the Bucks over Giannis Antetokounmpo's health status, and Lakers star Luka Doncic will miss at least the remainder of the regular season with a hamstring injury. The home opener for the Red Sox. Yay, they won. They beat the Padres 5-2. They play each other again today at 4:10 in a few minutes. Early is scheduled to get the start for the Sox. The Bruins and Lightning will face off tonight at 5. Catch all the action right here on 9-day-5 The Sports Hub with Bob Beers and Ryan Johnston at 4:30. And your New England Revolution will battle it out against CF Montreal at 4:30. You can catch all the action for that game on the Sports Hub HD2 station. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail. Eliminate the pain with Dr. Frankie of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm Leroy Irvin. Leroy and Cerrone will be right back.
Boston Talk Sports.
Drake May. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Carolina and all the drama and dizziness that was connected to that game. And for the record, we don't care. We're going to talk about what we want to talk about and what's popular. But right now on the phone, the Boston Legacy soccer team, women's soccer team, we have the general manager on the phone, Domain Gouache. Did I get that right?
You got that right, Leroy.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. You know, real quick, how do you feel when you hear specifically men, talk down about women's sports. What's your reaction to that?
I would say just come down to Gillette, watch a game, and then let's talk after that. Because I would say that everybody would have a lot of fun if they did that one. Especially the ones that would say that. So that's my reaction.
Okay, one more question, Cerrone. Before I know, Cerrone, you got quite a few questions, but real quick, you're coming from one of the biggest clubs in the world. What made you say, okay, yeah, I want to go to Boston and build from scratch?
I mean, it's many different answers I would have to that. I would say first one, it's Boston, right? I had been here before 3 times. I had sensed the sports environment in here. And I wanted to, after 14 years at FC Barcelona, I was looking for a challenge, but at the same time, it had to be an ambitious challenge, right? A place where, hey, I knew I could build something lasting, something that meant something to people. And I know this is a city that cares for their teams, and the perfect place to do that.
And like you said, you talk about a city that cares for its teams. And how do you guys see your way the fitting in to kind of create your space? With you got the 4 major sports here. Like, what visions or plans do you guys have to kind of create your own thing, and where do you see it, going in the next couple of years? What kind of growth do you expect from this league?
Yeah, I mean, I think the league itself, right? The NWSL, women's soccer, and women's sports in general are growing everywhere, right? And even more so in a city that lives and breathes for sports. So I would say that's again it's not unique to Boston. Definitely Boston, obviously it's a crowded market, but at the same time it's a place and I think that's something that after having traveled to many different places, something unique here is that it does not really matter if you like the sport or not, right? Like, you might not enjoy baseball that much, but you support the Red Sox, and you might not like basketball that much, but you still support the Celtics, and that applies to every team, and that is something that we're already feeling, right? Like, there's people that will come to games won't know really the rules of soccer, and will be asking hey, how do the subs work? How many players play? And obviously, sometimes for us, it's kind of silly questions, but at the same time, it's awesome that someone that does not really know much about the sport is showing up for the team there, right? And that's something unique. And obviously, our aim is that those people that show up one time, they do have a great time. They see Boston represented on the field. They see a gritty team. They see an aggressive team. They see a competitive team, and they enjoy it, and they come back.
For those tuning in, we are talking to the general manager of the Boston Legacy, Dome Gouache. First, well, I want to say congratulations for the first game setting an attendance record for an expansion team. So congratulations for that. If I'm tuning in or I'm showing up to a game for the first time, what kind of team am I watching? Are you gritty, flashy, defensive, high scoring? What type of team am I about to see?
So you're about to see a gritty team that is dominant, that will intend to have the ball and will press high to get it back when we don't have it. You'll see a team that will try to solve situations through keeping the ball and creating the chances there, right? Like trying to bring it up the field and creating as many chances as possible. And a team that no matter what will compete until the very last minute, right? Like, hey, yesterday we were a goal down a little bit after the halftime, and we kept going all to the end. And yeah, we did not get the goal there, but yeah, we tried until the very last minute, right? We never give up, and yeah, that's our signature.
With this team, with the news that I guess things are going forward with the potential you guys playing in the renovation of White Stadium in the middle of the city, how do you see the impact of that being with your team and the growth of the sport in the city? Do you see the changes in you guys eventually moving to White Stadium being a major move for this franchise?
Absolutely. Because like right now, obviously, we're happy at Gillette. Like it's an amazing venue. And yeah, we're like, even the environment, even though it's a huge stadium, we're still being able to create a nice environment for the team and the fans. But obviously, being in the heart of the city, that's a different level, and we cannot wait to be there.
Wow, that's what's up. Again, we are talking to the GM of the Boston Legacy, Dome Guash. 5 years from now, what has to happen in order for this team to be considered a successful team and organization for you personally?
I mean, personally, I want to make sure that that stadium that we were just talking about, right, White Stadium, in 5 years from now has been consistently full of people, right? That's full of people that knows the team, that cheers for the team, that is proud of the team. In 5 years from now, I want to have a team that has been consistently in the playoffs for the league, so always fighting for the championship, and obviously, hopefully, by then, more than one in the history of the club. And at the same time, a team whose players go around the city and cannot walk much because they get recognized, they get asked for pictures, they get asked for autographs and all that, right? And I would say that would be pretty successful for us.
Appreciate it, man. So I'm assuming, and tell me if I'm wrong, but if someone would like to purchase tickets, they can go to BostonLegacyFC.com. Is that where they can go?
That's exactly right. You're right. Thank
Y'all
you.
heard the word. If you want to go, BostonLegacyFC.com. Again, this is the general manager of the Boston Legacy, Dome Guash. Dome, we appreciate you calling in so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for having me.
All right.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
it. Thank you. I hope we didn't get any other Neanderthals.
They're scratching in the cave.
How dare you? Like you said,
but
Cerrone, good point.
Here's the hypocrisy, though. Go ahead.
No, but you made this point earlier for the. And I'm not saying it's all men. It's not even a majority of men. It's a small,
Right, it's a very small percentage.
like a handful. But you made this point earlier. Do you not have women in your life? Do you not have a mother or maybe a sister or niece or cousin or grandmother or an auntie? Come on now.
Now, the hypocrisy is this. Y'all talk a mean game. Let BC women's team win the national championship tomorrow. Y'all be the first ones at the parade buying jerseys and streamers. You all for it, when the winning comes. But when it's not, when it's interrupting with your daily programming, whatever, it bothers you when it has nothing to do with you. But look, man, women's sports is for one, it's here to stay. And it's a good thing. Very entertaining. I argue this all the time, and I'm not just saying this now. I think women's basketball is played better than the men's game right
Hallelujah.
now.
Real ballers know that.
It's real basketball being played. Like, I recognize that. They're running offense. Look at the post game, the outlet passing, the ball movement.
Inside out.
Everything. The game is played the right way. They're just below the rim, so everybody feels funny about it. But there's no way you can watch the women's game and then go to the men's game and be like, no, that's a better product. But you're kind of holding on to it. Asia Wilson is one of the best basketball players in the world, period. She can put the ball in the basketball hoop, period. That's the name of the game. And she can do it as good as anybody in the world. And we see it over and over again. But again, daughters, I have a daughter. My daughter plays volleyball. She runs track. I'm out there cheering for her. I love to see it. I love seeing the other parents, the other fathers out there watching their daughters play ball. It's an amazing thing. And look, I grew up playing around in White Stadium. If I see a women's soccer team in a brand new stadium, whatever, in the middle of Franklin Park out there, I want to bring my daughter to that. I want to go see it.
I want to bring my sons to that.
I want to bring my sons. I used to play here. I scored a touchdown in that corner playing for the Raiders. Shout out to the Raiders. But it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
It's a cool. It's sports. It's entertainment.
That's right.
It's a great thing. But you can't be walking around, you said, like a Neanderthal dragging your knuckles out the cave because we're talking about the biggest sports moment of the week on 98.5 The Sports.
Unbelievable. Again, if you want tickets for the Boston Legacy, BostonLegacyFC.com. Let's go to Don in Newton. Don.
Oh, hey, guys.
What's up?
Boy, I loved your show. It's appointment radio, you guys.
Appreciate it.
And so there's a shout-out to my daughter, Sarah, who grew up as a very serious soccer player, and she got injured the first day of her college tryout, and then tried to make a comeback and got injured again, and she got into running, and she recently ran the Boston Marathon, and so I'm just shouting out her for her resilience. And definitely second what the legacy general manager just said. If you don't like women's sports, get out and check it out, because there's competition, there's sportsmanship, there's intensity. It's great. Open your heart and open your mind, as you guys might say, and you got a whole world of sports that you'll really enjoy.
Appreciate it, Don. Shout outs to you and shout outs to your daughter. I love that. Listen, we're going to take another quick break. When we get back, we're going to wrap this baby up and get ready for the Bruins. Oh, yeah, they're going to be taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Not too many games left of the season. Come on, Bees. Got to get it done. Got to get it done. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Two local guys, lots of local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
We didn't respect our opponent. I think that's the bottom line. We looked over probably, and we saw a lot of guys out, and we didn't respect the Stanley Cup champion, and that was it. That was the game. And then after that, we were chasing, and we addressed it before the game. It doesn't matter who's in or who's out for them. They're champions for a reason, and we didn't respect that at all, and that's the frustrating.
Jeremy Swayman certainly did his part in keeping this a one-goal game right up until the the final buzzer. That being said, pretty good push by your group in the third period when it was really intense. What did you see in the third that you appreciated from the group?
We finally played a little bit our identity. Getting a little bit more hungry around the net, and again, we just didn't do it for some reason. But we've seen that before. We've seen that in Nashville. A lot of guys were out. We've seen that in the past. So we can't be stubborn like that. Again, those are big points, and there's just tough one to Leafs a couple here in Florida.
Welcome back, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. Bruins, baby. What, they got 6 games left, including today versus the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Yeah, doesn't it? And Tampa Bay again next Saturday.
Lord have mercy. I mean, just know at 4:30, you want to be here for all the action, all the coverage. You got Ryan Johnston and Bob Bears. You want to be here for that. George, as a lover of the Bruins, and I know that sounds a little extra, but we down to the wire. What's it looking like for the Bruins? Can they get it done?
It is going to be quite the stretch here down the stretch. So we have the half dozen games. I'm more concerned about the playoff positioning and the matchup. Mm-hmm. We're currently locked into the wild card seed with about 6 points to play from the people bunched up with 88 points. We're sitting at 94. So we're going to get one of the division leaders, either in Atlantic, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Montreal, or Carolina. It all depends on which is the second, and they'll be jostling for playoff position. So this is going to go right down to the wire. I'll tell you what, listing those 4 teams for potential first-round matchups, Tampa, Buffalo, Montreal, Carolina, I'm kind of scared for all of them. It's hard for me to distinguish and say which one they would have the advantage of. Yeah. They are going to start Swayman again tonight, so it'll be interesting to see if they're going to ride the pine for the Philly game tomorrow. They also weird scheduling with the travel and having to play tomorrow afternoon, things like that. But I can't quite, out of these 4, I mean, Tampa, Buffalo, Montreal, Carolina, probably Montreal scares me the least. But it'll be interesting to see which one we get because, we played Buffalo well the last time we had faced them. So they're going to have to ride Swayman, probably, in my opinion. Yeah. Swayman's going to have to steal some of these games. Thankfully, he's been up to the task. He's been one, MVP of the season, we'll call it.
At the beginning of the show, Cerrone, you told us about how you said a vulture hit your car and shattered the window.
Yeah,
and we paused, George, to say a prayer for Cerrone. And I believe in it.
It's time to
we got to pray for Bruins fans. Not just the Bruins,
fans. Not the teams, the fans.
I haven't met a fan of the Bruins this season who has hope. They're like, if they get in, they get in. But look, Heavenly Father, wash out the doubt in the hearts and minds of Bruins fans. Please. I feel like, and amen, I feel like Bruins fans watch with a smirk on their face, like side eye, sucking their teeth like, yeah.
Yeah, there's no belief, man, whatsoever.
None at all. And I have to say this, I know this is very, very childish of me, but one of the main reasons, it's not the only reason, but one of the main reasons I want to see the Bruins make it into the playoffs and make some noise, there's nothing like having multiple teams playing at the same time. Bruins, Red Sox, Celtics are going to be in the playoffs. Like, man, I wish we could, how everybody goes crazy when somehow, some way, all 4 teams are playing at the same time. Mm-hmm. If the Red Sox can make a run. I love stuff like that. We need that. Go Bees. Now, we got about 3 minutes left, Cerrone. Before we go, we got one more caller on the line. He's from Bridgewater, and he wants to talk about the Celtics. Eric.
Hey, guys. I apologize for calling back again because I know we're running out against the clock. So my question for you guys is this. I know April is Autism Awareness Month, and I want to ask you, do you remember who performed the national anthem for the Celtics Autism Acceptance Night from last season?
Not at all.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Eric, I lost you. If you were going to give us the answer, please call back. But I also felt like, and I'm glad that dropped because something felt off. Something felt a little fishy.
Go there.
I don't know what he was about to do.
I don't know. But one thing I'd add before we leave, you asked the people to call in and kind of show support for female athletes or whatever, stuff like that. Like in your life or somebody you just want to. We have a couple people call in, and I just pulled up real quick, just some names that I just want to give a shout out to from Boston or from the area, Greater Boston, whatever you want to call it. Number one on my list for me is Michelle Edwards. She went to Cathedral High School. Very, very good friend of the family. She grew up with, my moms and them, and she's almost like a cousin to a lot of us. Michelle Ice Edwards went to Cathedral, and she was one of the inaugural stars of the WNBA when it first started. She played for the Cleveland Rockers at the time. Good player, WNBA player, star, whatever. Very good guard coming out of Cathedral. She can really hoop. Shout out to Sparrow Park. Other one, Carolyn Swords, Lincoln Sudbury, Chicago Sky, BC. She cooked us. We played against her.
No. She didn't cook us. I was on her team. I
was slow cooked. I was slow cooked by Carolyn Swords, the center for BC.
Yes.
She ended up going from Lincoln Sudbury, played for Chicago Sky. Unstoppable in the low.